so as we know from the previous two lessons, we cannot be a 5 to 8 pip trader and be successful. To be a 5 to 8 pip trader means that we break every rule of margin management. They're risking way too much money for too little reward, and we have stacked the deck against us as opposed to for us. Now, that goes completely contrary to what you think, because as you're taking trades and you're making 5 to 8 pips, you think, look at this, isn't this great? I'm making money. But what you're doing is you're winning the battle and you're losing the war. If you trade for 5 to 8 pips, you must be the best trader on the planet, okay? So we can't do that. So this is a chart here, and let me just take everything off of this real quickly here. And the first thing you want to do is, and this is the British pound, is you want to go to a day chart. And when you go to a day chart, you're simply trying to find the top and the bottom, okay? Because you want to know how far am I to this bottom, how far am I to this top. And as you can see, the market is moving in a very sideways movement, but it's moving up and down about 1,000 pips. That's 1,000 pips up and 1,000 pips down. So, it's quite a bit of range right there, all right? Once you define it on the day chart where the bottom is and where the top is, then you simply go down to a 240 chart. Okay. Now, we're going to scroll back here, and we're going to do this lesson going down from this top down to the bottom. Okay. Once they hit the top, then we're looking to go to the bottom. So to do that, I have a little PowerPoint here that I want to show you that will probably help you a lot. Okay. So when we're looking for where the targets are, we need to understand what support and resistance is. Support is very simply, it is a one candle that sticks down, or it could be several, as a case over here. I've shown various different views of them. All right, so you've got one candle that sticks down, and you have two to the left that are higher than this one, and two to the right that are higher than this one. And they can look like anything. Like here, this little wick sticks down, but you have two candles that are higher than that on the left, two candles on the right. Same thing over here, so on and so forth. Okay, that's what defines support. Now resistance is just the opposite. It is one candle that sticks up with two to the left and two to the right. Okay, remember this pattern looks like a V. Once again, it can look like anything. You can see right here we have one candle up and we have several looking down below it here. Okay, sometimes you have twins. It looks like this, where you have two exactly the same, and then you have two to the left and two to the right. But that's what defines resistance. Now, when you're looking for targets, this is the way you have to think about it, okay? I'm showing you a 3-story apartment house, okay? And the way to remember it is, no matter where you are on the chart, you are always on the second floor, okay? What that means is that your ceiling, while it is your ceiling, is not the guy who lives above you. This guy who lives above you, it is his floor, okay? So that's what that looks like. Now, your floor, remember you're on the second floor, is your floor. But it's not the floor for the guy who lives below you. It is his ceiling. All right? You see that? So you're always there. That's what you're looking for, is that kind of a pattern right there. So now let's go back to the charts and let's go find and see what we're looking for. Okay? So let's just take this back to this area right here. Okay, we've hit the top. We know that we're now going to look for a move down to this bottom down here. Okay? So where will this go? All right. So how do we find that? Well, we go back in the past and we look for a downtrend. Okay. Now remember, we're looking to go down here. So we're looking for any movement, and we're looking for the guy who lives below us. Okay. Remember, if we're up here in the top, all the way back up here, let's scroll that back up here. Okay. Our floor is the guy who lives below us here. See that? Okay, so we're going to go back here, and here we have a downtrend. The downtrend is what lives below us. Who lives down below us? The downtrend. Who lives up above us? The uptrend. Okay, that's how you remember it. So as we look down here, we're looking for a candle pattern where we have one candle that sticks up. Oh, went the wrong way. Let me go this way. I'm making the candles bigger is what I'm trying to do here. All right, so we have one candle that sticks up with two to the left and two to the right of it. So this line, this top right here, is resistance. Now that is the guy who lives below me's ceiling, which means that's my floor in the future. All right. As we come down, we're looking for another one. Here's another one. It's a set of twins right here. See that? All right. There are two candles to the left, two candles to the right of these two that stick up here. And we come down here. Here's another one right here. See that? Okay, and then as we move to the left, right here, we can see that we've basically got these already taken care of, but there's one right here, right there. This one right there. Again, 2 candles to the left, 2 candles to the right, and down here's another one right here. 2 candles to the left and 2 candles to the right of this set of twins sitting right here. Now, these resistances will be our support in the future. Okay, so I'm going to scroll this down and I'm going to go back up here. Here's the top. So I'm going back up where these candles have topped out right up here. Okay, so now we can see these lines as we come down. These become the targets. As the market is going to the very bottom, wherever that is, that's all the way down here, this lowest one right here. As it goes to the bottom, remember I'm on the second floor, so this will be my next target, the 5909. All right. Now, as the market goes down, it tries to make an effort to get there. It still hasn't gotten there. Look what they do though, right to the line. Okay. Now, here's the other key. Breaking below here and opening and closing a candle. Remember, this is all done on a 240-minute chart. That's a 4-hour chart. There's lots of trades in between here in 4 hours, but what we're looking for is the target. If we break this and we go one candle below it and print it, there it is. That is our key that we're going to try to make it down to these right here. All right. So let's just see what happens. All right. And we have a pullback. Now you say, oh, how come it went up if it's supposed to go down? The reason it goes up because there's no sellers here. They tried to find sellers. That's why there's a wick here. There were no sellers. And as we learned in our first and second lessons, when they can't find sellers to go down, or the opposite if they're going up, then they have to give a discount. All right. So we could very simply, just using what we learned in the previous one, use the leg from here down to here and find the Fibonacci values. There's the 50%. That would certainly be a good place to turn. And now we'd be looking for a movement to go down. Well, you can see there's the first pulse of it. All right. Are they going to go down? Well, we don't know yet. We're still trying. We've got confirmation that they're trying to get to that line down there. And right over here they hit it. See that? Now, it took it a long time to get there, but that did not change the targets at all. Okay? And people say to me all the time, well, I can't be sitting there trading that long. You don't have to trade that long. All you have to do is move your stop and know where the target is and walk away. Once your trade is in a positive position, doesn't matter whether it's 1 pip or 50 pips, if it's in a positive position, you cannot lose on that trade. Now is the time to take advantage of the market since you know where the targets are. Now, once you get several of these right here together, you're going to have trouble. Okay? The reason for that is very simple. There's no risk for reward, and the bankers are going to have trouble with that. So we'll have trouble, and down we go to that next one. Now, breaking the next line is going to be very, very difficult, and they go ahead and do it. But look where they go, right to the next support or resistance. Okay? Remember, our target is all the way down here yet, and we'll see if we make it. And boom, down they go. All right. Now, we knew all that in the past. All that information comes from the past. Therefore, it is readily available to the trader. Okay. Now, trading this from up here at 6,300 down to this one, 5,482, is about 800 pips. All right. So, you would get stopped out on your pullbacks and continuously look for sells, look for sells, look for sells, look for sells to these targets. Now, as you approach this support right here, which is previous resistance, you're real leery about taking a trade right into that. And anytime you have multiple lines close to each other, then you have a real problem because there's no risk and reward for the banker. Okay. Once the banker breaks this line, now he has risk and reward. He needs to find some sellers. So what does he do? He takes it up and gives them a discount so they can go ahead and make that move right there. All right. So it's fairly simple to see that, but it's hard to get it wrapped in your head because whatever it was in the past is the opposite. Okay. So let's do an uptrend. All right. So let's see if we can find one. Most everything is going down, so let me see if I can find an uptrend. The Aussie should give us an uptrend. There we go. There's an uptrend. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take it off the day chart. Okay, we're going to go up to the day chart and we're going to find the top. Okay, so here's the top, and here's the bottom of the zone. You can see from this up to there, back to here, and back up. Okay, you can see that movement right there. All right. Now currently we're here, but now we're looking for moves up into the next quadrant. But right now, what I want to do is I want to do this uptrend right here. Okay, so we know that this is the top. We know this is the bottom. So now we're going to take it down to a 240 chart, and we're just going to scroll back here as if we were sitting here. Okay. Now remember, we're looking for a bounce off this line to go back up to the top. Why? Remember, this is a football field. There's a goal up here and there's a goal down here. All right? When they took off from this goal here, they were headed to this one. They hit that. Now it's time to go back up. All right? So what are we looking for? All right. So now remember, we're on the second floor. So we have to find our ceiling. In other words, what would stop this from just putting one candle right to that line? What will stop it is multiple ceilings along the way. All right? And our ceilings come from an uptrend. All right? This is the guy right here who lives above us. Okay? Therefore, these supports, I'm going to make the candles a little bigger so we can see them easier. These supports going up will be resistances in the future. And we can see right here that we have one candle sticking down with two to the left and two to the right. So there's our first support. Okay? Then it comes up, comes down, and here's the next one. Comes back down, there's a second support. Two candles to the left, two candles to the right of that red one sticking down. Up we go, and then here's another one coming down right here. Two candles to the left, two candles to the right, and then up here we have another one right here. All right. So we can see these blue lines will be that are support here will be resistances to us in the future. All right. So let's go down here again. So we can't see that. I'm going to go over here to where we hit this bottom. There's the bottom. Okay. Now, as we go up, we'll see. You can see they already knew where the first one was. Okay. Here's the first one. Now, the target from the bottom to here is what they were looking for. How far is that? And that's 95.35 to 96.80. So that's 150 pips to that target right there. You see that? All right. They pull back. What are they looking for? They're looking for buyers. They need buyers. Where do you find buyers? Give them a discount. Down they come, and there we go. Now we're breaking into the next one. We now know the next target is 98.34. All right. We're at 96.80. We're going to 98.34. Once again, another 150 plus pip move. And boom, right up to it, as you can see. Now, the next one is going to be a little tough. As you already saw, they'll make that in one candle. Why? Because there's not much profit. There's only 50 pips here, so they'll make that pretty quick, right? And the big trade is ahead of us still. It's from this big area right in here. This is the area they're trying to go to, all right? So there's our first attempt, and now we have crossed over into that quadrant. That means that the big boys are going to, if they can't find buyers here, we know they're going to pull back. Okay, they're going to pull back and give these people a discount to entice them to come in for the buy. If not, they're just going to go straight to it. Either way, doesn't matter to us because we know where the exit is. 98.93 is where we are. It's going to 1,085. That's roughly almost 200 pips right there. And there's a 200 pip trade sitting there. There's the first pullback. There's a second. As they look for buyers. Buyers start coming in, not enough of them. Do we need a deeper discount is the question. And then they go sideways, and we'll just see what happens. There weren't enough buyers here. They're looking for buyers. And there aren't enough. So what do? Once again, we'll go back to our first lesson, which was this top, the bottom, the Fibonacci's, okay? When we come back, excuse me, it was the second lesson. One of these fibs will give them support for the buyers to come in, and it may be this 50%. Looks like it was right now, and you can also see that this top has got a 270 fib extension on it. All right, let's just see what happens. I'm going to kind of scroll fast through here, and you can see that although it's taking them quite a bit of time, they're still trying to get there, and we know where the target is at each time. Notice how they know where these lines are. And they got within a couple of pips of it. Will they get there? And boom, there they go. All right. Now, remember, that information is readily available to every trader out there. This information is what the big boys use. So you must learn to use it. That's all there is to it. You can talk about trends and all that kind of stuff all day long, but learning how the market moves is what's critical, and knowing where they're trying to go, because you'll never get a 200 pip move if you're trading for 5 to 8 pips. Okay, so we look for these targets. These targets give us the ability to make great long-range trades. All right, so let's just take this last move up here on the Aussie here. Now remember, the Aussie is not a rock and roller, so it's actually a pretty good currency for us to look at. All right, so I'm going to click right here. I'm going to start where we had this pullback and now the move up, and we're just going to take it down to a 10-minute chart. All right, and we're going to look and see how would we do trading to these targets. So I'm going back to where I marked that back in the past, and it's quite a ways back there. I didn't realize it was that far, but we'll sooner or later find that thing. Well, I can't find it, so we'll just start right here. Okay, so we know we're looking for buys up to these targets. Ultimately, we're going to this target right up in here. All right, so we'll just take it from right here. Can we see how many buys we would have? Here's an arrow and a painted candle and an up move. Okay, this one we don't take. Notice we wouldn't take this. Why? Because we're right below this line here, so we won't take that. We'll know not to take that trade. That's a bad trade. Okay, this one is a break north. Okay, and then immediately the next candle comes screaming back down. All right, and then it continues on down right in here. And remember, these trades to this line are so close that we won't make these trades because we know that there's no risk for reward. Remember, the key is risk for reward. Once we break above it, however, which is right here, we get a trade here, we get a trade here. That's a nice little trade right there. Okay, this one we'll probably take this trade. Okay, and it depends on the time of day. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. That's a good time to take a trade. So I'll look at the path projector and we'll put a reasonable stop on it. Okay, so we're a buyer. There's a 30 pip stop and a 55 pip target. Okay, so if this is 30 pips, we'd be risking 30 pips here. We know we have a target right here, and we know we got another one right here. All right, so do we ever get stopped out? And you see we never get stopped out, and up we go to this line right here. We get another opportunity to buy right here. Okay, and so you see, we never got stopped out. A lot of traders say, you know, I constantly get stopped out and then it goes where I thought it was going. So the problem is you don't really know where the targets are. Once you know where the targets are, you know whether you can take the trade at that level or not. Okay? And again, we're looking for constantly moves to make these moves. When we get this one right in here, all we have to do is we know that target is 55 pips. That's at 89. We're down here at 50, so there's a 39 pip trade there. Sure, we can take that trade right there. Remember, our ultimate target is way up here. All right? And you can see every time it pulls back, we get an opportunity to trade. Pulls back, we get an opportunity to trade. Look at all these trades we get. Up, 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 up. Constantly as the market is slowly meandering up to the top. Okay, and you see we get multiple trades, multiple trades, multiple trades, multiple trades, and when they can't reach the target, they pull back and give everybody a discount. Remember your second lesson, so that there will be more interest in making the buy to that target. Okay, and all of these you can position in. There's so many trades here that you can't make all these trades. That's just it. Okay. And then they finally pull way back here again, and then they try again. Why? Why did they do that? You see right here, there weren't any buyers. They needed buyers in here. So when you see it do this, you'll know, there's no buyers. They're going to have to give it a discount. Right? So they pull back, give it a discount to here, down to this line, and now we can go again, and boom, they try to make that line over and over and over again. So that's how you do it. All right. Now let's take a look at stops, however, for just a second here. All right, and let's go back over to current, where we are. All right. All right. So you know, once we make a trade, right, the technical stop is the last support or resistance. Okay, let me go to a different currency here. We'll go to, let's go to the British pound here, and we have a nice move where it's pretty easy to see this move down and then the move up. So we'll mark this one right here and show how we would have made trades coming back down to this target here. So once again, you can see that I'm going to take this off. Just take that off. I'm just trying to get it kind of clean where we know these targets, either the support and resistance here. So I'm going to scroll back to this time. Okay, it's quite a ways back there. So give me a second while I scroll back. signal right here, our stop must be, this is the last resistance, plus 5 to 7 pips on an odd number that ends in a 3 or a 7. So that line is 55.63. I got to add 5 to it, which takes me to 68, and I got to have an odd number that ends in a 3 or a 7. So I'm going to have to go all the way up to 73. All right, so I'm going to go up to 73, and that will be my stop. There's 55.73. So trading from here, my stop must be there. You see, you never got stopped out on that trade right there at all, and you went right to the target, which is right down here. Now, had you traded that, you'll remember that these lines right here are called T30, so they're 30 pips apart. So this one is almost 30 pips to there. There's 30 pips there, so we got about 65, and then we finish off here with another 15. There's an 80 pip trade. Now, remember, the average retail trader got 5 to 8 pips on this 80 pip move, all right? And you can see, stopped correctly. We never got stopped out. How much risk did we have? We would have taken the trade right here at 55.46. Our stop would have been 73, so we'd have had roughly a 26 pip stop, 27 pip stop on that, 27 pips for an 80 pip run, all right? Let's go back over to this one right over in here, okay? So, let's take this one off the top here. If we take this trade right here, then we have to stop all the way back up here. You see that? Now that's 56.66. Add 5 to it is 71. We'll have to go to 73. All right? So our trade is going to be sitting at 73. Right there, 55.73, and our entry is going to be right down here at it opens at 55.98. Okay, 55.98 to 73. Huh, man, that's an 80 pip stop. All right, can we make that trade? No, we can't make that trade because we don't have an 80 pip target. Our target is right down here at 73. See? So right here when we're sitting here at 98, our target is 73. We can't make that trade because of risk and reward. We're risking this much money to make this much money, okay? However, once it pulls back right up into this area, now we've got 56.25 is here. 73 would be 25, would be 50 some pips. All right, is the target 50 pips away? All right, from here it's 18 down to 73. No, it's not. It's not 50 pips away. It's only 40 pips away. Once again, not a good trade from a risk to reward standpoint. So we don't make those dumb trades. Now you can see in this case, you still would have worked. The trade worked out, but your risk and reward would not have worked out. So we don't make those trades. How about going up this way? Let's just simply do this uptrend here. Let me take everything off of here real quick. All right, so we'll just use the HSI because it's real quick. We find a bottom down here, put the HSI on here, all right, and it quickly finds the targets for us. We see that they know where the R1 is. We see where they know where the R2 is. So let's just do this one right here, okay? So here we are. We got our signal headed up. We know the target is 55.11. We're going to be able to enter this thing right at this line 54.64, and we're going to 55.11. So roughly 55 pips to that line right there. Our stop needs to be, this is the last support in this case, plus 5 to 7 pips, okay? So that line is at 54.33. We add 5 pips to it, and that would take it down to 55.28. We've got to be an odd number, so we go to 27. 55.27 is our risk. All right, so let's bring this up a little bit. Hmm, 55.27. A little bit higher than that. That's 1 pip too high. Okay, so we're risking this much money for that much reward. Okay, so we enter at 72. We got to stop at 28. Subtract the 2. 28 from 72 is 44 pips. All right, so we got 44 pips at risk, and from this line here is 64 up to that is 11, and that's 55 pips. So we're risking 44 for 55. That's a trade we can make. Why? Because it's one for one. All right. So, and one of the reasons that they made this trade, and you see it make this trade like that, the reason they do that is because they have risk and reward too. See, the big boys are not going to take a trade unless they have risk and reward, right? And one of the problems is that you'll find that novice traders or traders who are struggling and don't know what they're doing is because they're taking poor risk and reward trades that the bankers won't even take. The big boys won't even take them because there's no risk and reward. And what are they trying to do? Take those same trades and expecting them to go. Unless there's risk and reward, the big boys aren't going to make those trades. So you can see, you have to know how to be a target trader no matter what you do, or you will get beat up. Okay? So now the next video, you don't want to miss the next video. We're going to have a really special offering on this next video that you're really going to be excited about, so you don't want to miss it. We're going to add some pattern recognition into this process here, so you'll be able to see how you can use patterns to explode your trading. And I'm talking about really exploding your trading, so that you'll know when you can take a break of a certain pattern, when there's a target that's plenty of room away from it, and you'll be able to grab that trade and be in it. So you don't want to miss this next trade, and especially we have a special offer for all of you who have been in on all of these videos and you've been working your way through to this level right now. This is going to be a great opportunity for you, so don't miss it. Don't forget also, below this video is a place for you to put comments and questions. Put your comments and questions in there. We answer every single one of them, and we'll be happy to help you. That's what we're here for, is to help you get to the level that you want to get to. So don't miss it. Also, don't forget, send the link to the website so that you can help your friends who are trading also, help them become better traders. You'll do yourself a favor, and you'll do a trading buddy a favor too. So click those buttons down below, folks, and we'll see you on the next video.